We're driving the new XC40 Recharge. It looks much like the old XC40, but there's nothing similar except the outer shell. Let's talk more about it. Hop in. Like I said earlier, we are driving the XC or Volvo XC40 Recharge. It looks, feels the same like the XC40, which is the ICE variant or internal combustion engine variant. But there's so much more going on about this car. To start with, the center of gravity is even lower. The XC40 was one of my favorite cars from Volvo is because it was nice, small, it offered the best package from Volvo and was also safe. The XC40 Recharge is even more safer now with the battery pack and the motors, they're dual motors on the front and back, sitting right under the floor bed, keeping the center of gravity extremely low. So these cars from Volvo are going to be even more safer and they have had the highest safety ratings overall any which ways. The other additional advantage that we get because of the dual motors is 402 bhp and 660 Newton meters of torque. What that means is when I put my foot down, it flies. And despite that performance, we have 418 kilometers of range and we can charge this car, that is the XC40 Recharge, from 0 to 80 in about 14 minutes, which is quite nice. We don't have the infrastructure available right now because we need a 240 kilowatt hour fast charger for that. The current ones that we have are around 120. It's priced at around 60 lakhs ex-showroom for the all-wheel drive variant, and you have a boot space of 414 liters at the back. And there's a frunk as well, which is under the hood, which is around 40 liters. Also, the infotainment system is by Harman Kardon. The speakers are Harman Kardon, which are 14 speakers. The infotainment system is powered by Google. So you have Google Maps integrated into your car directly. And I don't think there's any other map that does it well as compared to Google Maps. So you have live traffic updates and no matter where you go, where you get, it's going to be on point. The additional screen that I have, the TFT screen here, which is another 12-inch. It's a good display. I can have maps both on the front and back. There is no heads-up display on this one, which I hardly miss because I have two places where I can actually see the maps, or I can have something else running here. And then there's another information about the car information that's running on my main display here. Since we have spoken so much about the interiors of the car and the performance of the car, let's step outside and talk about the exteriors. But just before we head out, I'd like to point out, there is no start or stop button on the car. You just put it in park, get out of the car and lock it, it'll go off. You come close to the car, open the car and the car starts. So there is no start or stop button. I don't know if I'm going to miss it, but I think with the minimalistic approach, I'm probably going to get used to it. Let's step out and have a look at the car. There's so much that has changed about the XC40 Recharge from the outside. यार झूठ बोल रहा हूँ, कुछ नहीं change हुआ है. Front grille has been replaced by this cladded piece here. It's an electric car. नहीं ज़रूरत है यार. Radiator नहीं है, तो airflow किधर जाएगा? But there's a small cut here, so that the battery can be cooled off by the small radiator that is there only present for the battery. The headlamps are the same, the fog lamps are the same. The only other visual difference are the 19-inch rims on the XC40 Recharge. But then for the Indian variant, these might change. But the XC40 Recharge will have different colors. Like this red that is available on the XC40 Recharge here is not going to be available for the normal XC40 or the ICE variant of the XC40. And then there's Recharge written all over the car, like here on the rear C-pillar. You have Recharge badging here and it says twin because it's dual motor. Everything else here is the same. On a conventional XC40 or an ICE variant of XC40, you would have the D3 or the D4 mentioned, that's the trim level. But here you have XC40, Recharge on the other side, and mentioning twin since this is dual motor, a motor at the back and a motor at the front. Everything else about the car is exactly the same as the ICE variant of the XC40. colors are different, rims are different, and the front hood, the grille is different. Apart from that, it's the same. Even on the interiors, it's very same.